Ukraine-Russia war, live. First Abrams tanks arrive from US in boost for Kyiv's counteroffensive. The Kremlin warned earlier this week that the tanks will burn. The first Ukrainian soldiers have received US Abram tanks in a boost to Kyiv's counteroffensive. Ukrainian tank crews training in the Donetsk region of eastern Ukraine are the first troops to see the highly anticipated tanks, which were confirmed to have arrived in Ukraine on Monday by President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. In January, the US pledged to supply 31 advanced M1A2 tanks after months of shunning the idea. US General Mark Milley praised the Abrams tanks, saying they will make a difference in the ongoing 19-month war. Tank crews in Ukraine said that once they were deployed, the Abrams tanks, which reportedly cost $10 million to make, would be a big step up from the Soviet-era tanks they are currently operating, Reuters reports. The Abrams tank has protection against ammunition detonation. This tank does not have it. If ammunition detonates, there is no chance to survive, said tank driver Vitaly, 29. The tank is considered particularly lethal against heavy armor forces with a powerful engine, 120mm main gun and special armor. On Wednesday, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said the tanks would not affect the outcome on the battlefield and warned the tanks will burn. Putin recruits grey-hair Wagner commander. Russian President Vladimir Putin was on Friday shown meeting one of the most senior former commanders of the Wagner Group, Andrei Troshev. Alongside Deputy Defense Minister Yanusbek Yevkurov, they discussed how volunteer units could fight in Ukraine. The Kremlin also confirmed that the mercenary now worked for the Defense Ministry. Addressing Troshev, Putin said that they had spoken about how volunteer units that can perform various combat tasks, above all, of course, in the zone of a special military operation. You yourself have been fighting in such a unit for more than a year, Putin said. You know what it is, how it is done, you know about the issues that need to be resolved in advance so that the combat work goes in the best and most successful way. The meeting underscored the Kremlin's attempt to show that the state had now gained control over the mercenary group after a failed June mutiny by Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, who was killed in a plane crash in August. Just days after the Wagner's mutiny, Putin offered the mercenaries the opportunity to keep fighting but suggested that Commander Andrei Troshev take over from Prigozhin, Russia's Kommersant newspaper has reported. Troshev is a founding member and executive director of the Wagner Group. Zelenskyy blessed by Ukraine's chief rabbi. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy accompanied Ukraine's chief rabbi today to pay respects on the anniversary of the massacre there in the Second World War. Zelenskyy was blessed by Chief Rabbi Moshe Reuven Asman during the visit Bobin Yar. In a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, the chief rabbi said, I blessed the President of Ukraine at this holy place and wished him, on the eve of the Sukkot holiday, strength of spirit, inspiration and God's protection for the entire Ukrainian people. May the blessings of the Almighty accompany Ukraine on the way to peace and prosperity. Putin recruits former Wagner commander grey-haired Troshev to oversee Ukraine mercenaries. President Vladimir Putin recruited a former aide of late Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin to oversee mercenary fighter units in Ukraine. The Russian president met Andrei Troshev, who is known by his nom de guerre Sedoy or grey hair, along with Deputy Defense Minister Yanusbek Yevkurov on Thursday night, the Kremlin said in a statement. Mr. Putin reportedly said that they had spoken about how volunteer units that can perform various combat tasks, above all, of course, in the zone of the special military operation. Read more on this from The Independent below. Russia reduced tempo of some operations in Ukraine. Russian forces have reportedly reduced the tempo of some localized offensive operation, war monitoring think tanks say. The Institute for the Study of War, ISW, say that both Russian and Ukrainian officials are increasingly reporting fewer Russian ground attacks in the Kupiansk and Lyman directions in Ukraine. This reportedly indicates that Ukrainian offensive operations have drawn Russian forces away from the Kupiansk-Swatowy-Kreminna line. ISW has previously assessed that Russian offensive operations on the Kupiansk-Swatowy Kremenna line aimed to pin Ukrainian forces on this line and away from more critical areas of the front. Ukrainian forces continue offensive operations near Bakhmut. The Ukrainian General Staff reported on Thursday that troops have continued offensive operations in the Melitopol and Bakhmut regions. Earlier this week, a Ukrainian spokesperson said troops enjoyed success in villages near Bakhmut, a key town seized by Russian forces in May after some of the heaviest fighting in the 19-month-old war. Russian volunteer battalions have claimed that sources have spread false information a Ukrainian breakthrough in the Robotin Verbov area, according to war monitoring think tank the Institute for the Study of War. The think tank said that they have been unable to confirm the report. Russia begin new round of conscriptions, but won't send them to Ukraine. Russia will begin a new round of conscriptions on Sunday according to the Defense Ministry. In a statement from Rear Admiral Vladimir Tsimliansky released by the Russian MOD, it was announced that new conscripts would not be sent to Ukraine to fight. A statement read, "Servicemen undergoing conscription military service will not be sent to the points of deployment of units of the armed forces of the Russian Federation in new regions of the Russian Federation, Donetsk and Luhansk People's Republics, Kherson and Zaporizhia regions, or to participate there in carrying out the tasks of a special military operation." Every other year, Russia calls up those eligible for military service in autumn. Thank you.